Hello investors and future investors, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use the Robinhood platform in order to do a simple stock analysis. What this is going to do is that this is going to allow you to make a very informed decision if you will to buy a stock, sell a stock, or trade options. Welcome to Investment Gains. Let's jump right into it. Welcome back investors and future investors. For today's video, I'm going to give you a simple walkthrough of how you can utilize the Robinhood platform in order to do a simple analysis to make you have a better idea of whether you want to buy a stock, if you want to sell the stock, or if you want to do options. The Robinhood platform makes it extremely simple in order for you to make a decision. Now, there are other platforms out there where you could get this information. But with that being said, you guys know how we do on this channel. We like to give you a complete walkthrough of what we're doing in order for you to follow along and in order for you to come up with your own conclusions. For today's video, we're going to be using a stock that's pretty much in hot water, and that stock is going to be SMCI. Okay, so here we are on SMCI, and there's a couple of reasons why I chose this stock in order for you to do an analysis. And at the end of this video, I will give you my personal opinion and I will tell you whether I'll be buying this stock or I'm going to be selling this stock. But we all know I will be doing options on this stock. Now, in order for you to perform a simple analysis on Robinhood, does not mean you have to get technical. Anyone without an MBA or if you have never worked on Wall Street, you should be able to do this at the end of this video. So let's go. So let's go ahead. So this is Super Microcomputer, better known as SMCI. Now, as you can see here, you can see the chart of SMCI. And if you were to go over to the 1 week chart, the 1 month chart, you will see how the stock has performed over time. But what we're really interested in is additional information that's going to make us make a better informed decision. Now, for that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start scrolling down. Okay, so here we are. And first of all, this is a margin account. If you don't know what that is, just do a quick Google research and you will see what a margin account does and your requirements in order for you to have one. Now, your initial requirement for this stock, SMCI, is going to be 60%. That tells you right off the bat that the stock is a bit risky. Your maintenance requirement is going to be about 50%. And once again, that tells you it's a bit risky. Your maintenance requirement is going to be anywhere between 25% to 100%. Now, if you want an exact detail of what this does, you could simply click into the help icon right there, and it's going to give you a walkthrough. So Super Microcomputer is in a category that's extremely volatile right now, since semiconductors and AI is what's trending right now. However, in addition to that, it's also volatile on its own, and we're going to get into that as the video goes along. Now, in order for you to get information about the company and what it does, you could always scroll down to the About, and then you could read what this company does. Let's go ahead with just the first line only. Now, Super Microcomputer Inc. engages in the distribution and manufacture of information technology solutions and other computer products. Now, in order for you guys to get the full about what this company does, go ahead and simply click into More. Now, we're going to continue scrolling down, and now we're going to start getting into the juicy part of Supermicro, and I'll tell you guys why is it I decided to use this stock to make this video. Now, as you can see here, you can see the name of the CEO, which is Charles Liang. You can see the amount of employees the company has, where the company is headquartered, and also the amount of time this company has been around. Now, let's go down to the real juicy part, and I will show you exactly why I chose this stock. So down here, under your key statistics, you're going to see other important information that's also going to help you make a very informed decision, which is going to be your average volume, your volume. But most important to me is the 52-week high and also the 52-week low. Now, the spread between your 52-week high and your 52-week low is about $1,000. In normal investing term, any investor will be like, holy Toledo, that is a lot. That is a wide spread. For someone like me that thrives on option, this is amazing and I absolutely love this spread and I love the volatility. But this is not an options video. This is a video in which you could use this information in order to make an informed decision. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue scrolling down. So as we can scroll down, you're going to see next, you're going to see trading trends. Now, the trading trends is a new addition on the Robinhood platform, and this also helps make an informed decision. So to the top here, you're going to see 3 different categories, and we're going to go through each of them individually, and I'll tell you how you could use this information to your benefit. Now, the first category is going to be Robinhood. Now, this graph down here shows all the buying and the selling of us retail investors. And as you can see, the chart is pretty much up and down. That means we do whatever we want, whenever we want, and every retail investor has a different strategy or different reason why they're buying and also why they're selling. There isn't anything concrete here that actually shows us a trend. Now, we're going to go over to hedge funds and you're going to see a huge difference. So here we are under what the hedge funds are doing. So the hedge funds have a more secure trend. And as you can see here, they've all been selling SMCI. Now, hedge funds are where the big money is. And if you want to become a successful trader, this is quite simple. Always follow the big money moves. Although we are retail investors, we don't have that much influence over the market as opposed to the hedge funds. So if you want to be successful in the market, just follow what the hedge funds are doing. Your success rate is gonna escalate. So, like I said, the hedge funds, they're absolutely selling. So if you go here from 2022, they've been selling the stock more than they have been buying. Now we're gonna go over to insiders. Okay, so here we are on insiders. Now, the insiders are the people actually involved with the company of SMCI, and these are going to be your CEO, your CFO, the employees. These are all insiders. Now, as you can see here, this is what the chart looks for the insiders. Now, the trend that I can see here is still the insiders are selling more than they are buying. So although you see the big green right here, you can see the selling part way engulfs the green part, and that goes for this one as well. Now, how do you use the insider information? The insider information should be used as a guideline of what has happened. The reason for that is that because insiders have special rules which you need to follow. In order for them to buy or sell any of their stock, it must first need to be reported to the SEC and Trade Commission, meaning they need to do this within 30 or 90 days before they actually do the trade. When we retail investors do get this information, that trade has been long gone. So I would not rely much on what the insiders are doing since those trade has long gone. So, how would I use the trading trends? Well, I would first of all focus heavily on what the hedge funds are doing. And secondly, I would also focus on what the Robinhood traders are doing in order for me to make my decision. I would hardly use the insiders, but it's just good information to have. Now we're going to scroll down and we're going to see exactly how the insider information comes about. So let's go ahead and scroll on just a bit more. And you should be able to see this if you're using a desktop. It is also available on your mobile phone, but not in such detail. Okay, so as you can see down here, this is how the insiders accumulate and sell shares. So as you can see here, SVP of operations, George Cow, he had an uninformative buy, which is an accumulation of shares via a grant or award. And he did receive 164 shares. Now, let me tell you what this means. Forget all the big words. This just means that this guy got awarded an additional 164 worth of shares for achieving some kind of goal. Either he beat his earnings projection, his team did amazing, but he received shares based on that. And that seems to be the sequence right down here as well. So insiders are getting additional shares based on performance. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to continue scrolling down. Okay, so the next thing you could use in order to make an informed decision when doing your analysis is the analyst ratings. Now, the analyst ratings here are going to be 21 of them that came up to one single conclusion, and I'll tell you how they do it. So, analysts are individuals whose sole job, their sole purpose is to monitor companies and their operations in order to make a decision of whether you should buy that company, you should sell that company, or you could hold that company. Now, the way they come up with these decisions is based on the company's operations, the company's profits, the company's new product launches, etc. Once they make these decisions, we get an average of what the consensus is. So for SMCI, you could see here 42% is saying to buy the stock. Below that, you could see 52% is saying to hold the stock. And thirdly, we're going to see 48% is saying to sell the stock. So, what this information tells you is that the majority of the analysts are saying to either buy or hold. Hardly anyone thinks this stock is in a sell rating. So let's go ahead and continue down in order for us to get additional information in order for us to make an informed decision. So right below the analyst ratings, you're going to see earnings. Now, earnings tells you exactly when the company is going to let you know how good they did per quarter. Now, as you can see here, the earnings is expected to be on the 29th after hours. So at this point in time, we're going to know how well or how badly the company did. What are the projections for the next year, the next quarter? Now, the estimated earnings per share is going to be 7.64. Now, most likely SMCI will beat estimated earnings. That's almost a fact, as you can see with the trend with Nvidia, all of the other semiconductors. However, not because a company surpasses the estimated returns per share means the company is doing good. So remember, please pay close attention to that. Now, in addition to the expected earnings on the 29th of October, SMCI is going to be having a stock split come this Monday, which is going to be tomorrow. So with that stock split, they're going to be issuing what's going to be a 10-for-1 stock split. So based on the stock price right now, which is going to be $420 per stock, at the stock split tomorrow, SMCI is going to be trading at $42 per share. Hey, keep that information in mind. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to use that information. Okay, so these are simple analysis you could use in order for you to make an informed decision on any stock using the Robinhood platform. Now we're going to go back to the top and we're going to use the advanced feature. Now the advanced feature is going to be found right here to the top right of the graph. All right, so here we are on the advanced feature, and I'm not going to go in depth into this. I did make a video about this about a couple of weeks ago. I will try to leave it in the description below. Now, here we are on the charts, and this is the part where we could get a bit technical, but not very technical. This is not hard to understand, like I said. So let's go down to the indicators. So the indicators on this graph is going to be the price, the moving average 200-day, the moving average 50-day, and also the RSI. This chart is set up based on my personal preferences. Feel free to go into this and set up your chart however you want. The reason why my chart is set up this way, it makes it easy for me to see any trends in the market or easy for me to make a decision right away. So as you can see, my lines are split up into different colors. I got the blue, I got the red, I got the green. So right away, as soon as I open up my graph, I can see that SMCI is trading below my 200-day moving average. For my personal preference, that is amazing and that catches my eye right away. So that's one indicator that's going to tell me that this is a good time to consider getting into the stock. Now, let's go below, and our other indicator down here is going to be RSI. Now, the RSI tells you whether a stock is overbought or oversold. Once again, I will link the video to this below in the description below. At currently, SMCI is trading at around RSI of around 40, which is below the average RSI, which is 50. The closer SMCI goes to 30, this is going to make me want to buy it even more. So that's another indicator I use in order to make an informed decision whether I'm going to get into the stock or not. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go back to the SMCI graph, and now we're going to check out the options. Now, based on all that information that you just saw using the Robinhood platform only, that's going to tell me whether I'm going to buy the stock, sell the stock, or trade options. As you guys know, I like to use my portfolio in order to make weekly income. So let's go ahead and do what I do best. So we're going to go down to trade SMCI options, and we're going to see what the option chain has for us. So here's what I am doing. Come tomorrow, when SMCI has a stock split, I will be picking up 100 shares of the stock in order for me to do covered calls. The reason why I'm going to be doing that is because based on the simple analysis that we just went through, I think this stock is in a good buying point for me to pick up 100 shares to make consistent revenue on a weekly basis. So once again, this is my decision based on my risk analysis and my personal preference. Feel free to always do your own due diligence before getting into any stock. Now, if I were to go ahead and do a covered call on SMCI, I will do the usual, which is go ahead and choose my strike price above the current share price, and I will be going for an 80% chance of profitability as usual. The 80% chance of profitability is going to be $450, and I will be getting $6.50, which is going to equate to $650 in option terms. So once again, this number here remember, divided by 10 because of the stock split tomorrow. So that is what I am going to do with SMCI come tomorrow. Now, based on the analysis that we just went through, there are investors that's going to take this information a different way. So some people are going to think that this stock still have ways to go, and they are correct as well. So if they do think that SMCI still has ways to go down, then all they do is simply change their strategy. So I think this is going to be going down some more. What I'm going to try to do is get it at a cheaper price while still making money. So I would switch my strategy over to a cash secured put strategy. Remember, the first strategy I did after buying 100 shares would be the covered call strategy. If I'm firmly of the belief that this stock is going to continue going down, then I'm going to switch over to the cash secured strategy. Remember, both of these strategies will allow you to continue making consistent income. So let's go ahead and see our odds on the cash secure strategy. So let's go ahead and we're going to choose our date below the current share price. And once again, we're going to be looking for 80% chance of profitability as usual. And we're going to be going with the 382.50. Let's go down and we're going to use the 380 just to round it off. Okay, so with the 380, I have an 81% chance of profitability, and that's going to be paying me $5 or $500. Divide that into 10, and that's going to be $50 I'm going to be making if I were to do a cash secured put. So the purpose of this video is twofold. One, to show you how to use Robinhood portfolio in order to do simple stock analysis. The other point of this video is to show you that it does not matter what the analysis is. As traders and investors, we all perceive the information we are given differently, and that's what makes us all dynamic and interested individuals. The last point, which is very important, is that it does not matter which strategy you decide to use with SMCI, just make sure it's a strategy where you continue making consistent revenue no matter what the market is doing. That being said, I'd like to thank you guys for watching the video. Go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If there's anyone out there you think could benefit from this video, feel free to share it with them. Now, there will be 2 videos appearing anytime right now. Feel free to click on any one of these videos in order to continue being part of the weekly income team.